listening to The Sizzle on Iron Skillet Radio and Iron Skillet Television.
Go cuatro, tres, dos, y uno.
You know who it is. You know what it is. It's the Sizzle in the building, baby. And you know what we've come to talk about. We've come to talk about a lot of hot sports. Well, this thing we're going to talk about is not hot, but it's like hot. It's going to happen. Anyway, you know who's in the building. Rich Sizzle's here. There's Jay Sizzle. And guess what? We're talking about Winter Olympics. We're talking about Beijing, not the stuff you put in your hair, but what you got to actually watch on your screen. Leslie Jones isn't doing it anymore. I'm not doing it anymore. So let's talk about the Olympics and why nobody's watching it. I don't even care. I don't.
Because there's nothing hot about that cold air. Oh, we cannot bring no sizzle to snow.
No but
sizzle.
You can. You can make it up like they're making up snow right now. They are creating snow because it's not cold enough. And Jay Sizzle, in a few more years, because of global warming, there may not even be any more winter sports because it's not going to be enough snow.
Did you say they're making snow down there?
They are making
snow. They are. It's an artificial brand of snow that they're making down there.
They could have came on here. I mean, geez, we got
they could have
way more than enough.
We could have all the Olympics right outside here in these people's backyard, right out in front of my window. There's about 8 feet of snow over there. They could have easily went out there, ski jumped and everything. You know, the thing about it, they're doing artificial snow, and the Chinese have the ski jumps carved perfectly and everything else like this. Now, here's the thing about the Olympics. I know a lot of people aren't watching. I've been watching some of it because I'm one of the Olympic people. I just turn it on because I just like competition. But it's amazing when you're watching people and you don't understand the thing that's going on. Why is curling a sport? Why they throwing a rock down there and they're sweeping in front of a rock, and that's a sport. You got people. You like curling? They got people skiing around the track with a gun and then laying down and shooting. Ain't that something you do for SEAL training? I mean, why is that a sport? But hey, did you watch some of this? Well, y'all didn't watch it, but you watch. They had some ski jumping, like the girls doing spinning around with their skis. Man, some of that stuff is wild. I mean, that's all that X Games stuff. Why? And they got all the X Games stuff now. I don't think those are Olympic sports though. I mean, they're super sport. I mean, it was cool, but it was ski jumping and stuff. I mean, once they brought in the snowboarding, I thought that was enough of the X Games stuff. Now you got people out there on snowboards spinning around down a mountain. Now you got people with a ski spinning around. And if you don't grab the ski, you don't get points and all this type of stuff. I don't know. They're getting style points. They're not getting, points where the judge goes, that's a correct thing you did. We just like the way you just like how stylish you look doing it. So I don't know. It's all with the crap.
Why is that not a sport though? When you look at the new age parks in America, they have now built skateboarding, little ramps and things like that. Why not?
Well, we might as well put
Olympics about what you dreamed of, what you were doing as a kid, and this was your dream to grow up and be an athlete, and it starts in the parks. It doesn't start at home. We don't have an Olympic sport called video game, whatever. These are all physical activities that start in the parks. And the parks now have all of those things, albeit not with snow, but, converted into snow. That's what it is.
But when we were coming up, the Olympics, you had certain sports that they did in the wintertime. They skied down a mountain. They jumped down a mountain. They skated around a track. This is what they did. We played tag out there. You don't see Olympic tag. That's what we did out there. I think the X Games became popular and they want to get that young group in there. And they pulled that young group in there. But then the people who are actually going to sit there, but the young people are not sitting there. They're only going to watch those events and that's it. They're not watching all the Olympics. There used to be a time you sit there, you watch the skating where they're spinning around. You'd watch that. You watch the pair skating and all that type of stuff. But now the Olympics are only going, I mean, how much Olympics have you guys watched?
I've watched enough to see a young lady bust her behind on the slopes. I've seen reporters get moved out of the way by police. I've seen other little girls and they wondered if they can make it. But the bigger question is not how much I've watched. The question is, how much has Shaun White watched? Because I am firmly convinced Shaun White is an immortal. He's been around since the beginning of Winter Olympics. There's no way. The dude looked like Carrot Top like a year ago, and now he looks like Benjamin Buttons. He looks like he's getting ready to go and coach the Brooklyn Nets. That's what I can't understand it.
They used to call him like the flying tomato or something like that. What he skiing doing this thing at like 16 or 17 or something? And this is like his 5th Olympics. Yeah. It's amazing. I mean, you know, but I'm gonna tell you what, it's amazing some of the stuff these people do though. Like that speed skating, them guys are hitting 40 miles an hour in a corner, you know, on them skates, flying around on them blades. I mean, a lot of this stuff is exciting, super dangerous. One thing I do like though, I like that super G and that downhill. When they come in, because that one girl just broke both her legs, I think, just recently, tore her whole behind off coming down that mountain. And dude, they're doing 70 plus miles an hour on a pair of skis. I mean,
can you just imagine watching it at 6:05, 4 in the morning, and you just see somebody tear their whole behind off? Like she just tears her behind off while she's coming down the slope. You're like, there she is. She's coming down the hill. And right before oh my God, I think she left her left cheek on the hill. It's there rolling around. It's just blood everywhere. But you know, it makes the skis so much better. So much
better. They slow that action. Yeah.
You know, you were talking about, Jay, you were talking about the long jump. That's exactly why I watched the long jump, was to see somebody bust they behind. Because I'm like, there's no way. You done flew up 100 feet in the air and everybody gonna land on their feet. No, somebody gonna take a tumble. It's gonna happen. And it always came to.
What was that Olympic thing? I mean, every Olympic they had the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. Now the ski jumper falling off the thing, and limp body going over like, you know. But yeah, some of that when those guys hit stuff, like that one girl, I think her name is Eileen Gu. I think what her name is. Like she's like 18 years old. She's got like 3 million TikTok followers or something like that, and she's got contracts with Gucci and this people. I mean, she's making money hand and fist. This girl pulled the trick off. I think she spun like 4 or 5 times in the air. Nobody has ever done it before. And she said she didn't even know she was going to do it before she threw it. And it was amazing. I mean, I was like, how did she not kill herself? And she landed it perfectly. So you have them doing some stuff, some high-risk maneuvers that you got to be half crazy to do. They showed Shaun White earlier. He was practicing this quadruple spin thing they do in the halfpipe, and he landed on that icy shelf, and they had to cart him and practice. They had to cart him away. He had to spend some days in the hospital because he missed. So if you land this stuff, it's fabulous. But if you miss it, it's a big problem. I'm surprised you're not getting more people injured, severely injured, because they're throwing these big tricks. And I think that's what the problem is, especially with the X Games. I always thought the X Games sort of exploited that fearlessness of people who just try to do tricks that you know you don't even have a chance to land it, but you don't want to look like you know punky. You go out there and throw it. I remember, what was his name? He's one of those drift guys that promotes the X Games, and he went out there where on those bikes where they do the flips on the bikes. He was pumping some guy up just some years ago, Eric Pastrada. And he was pumping this guy to do this flip that they had never done before, 3 revolutions in the air. Guy comes down there and lands on there and breaks his back. Well, he only went out there to do that thing because you kept pumping him up to go do it. You know, that's the spirit of that, you know, that's a competition. Well, that's just you pushing people beyond their limits, and they shouldn't have been doing that type of thing. You know, that's why I think it's Eric Pastrada, something like that. That's why I didn't like him. Because of that, because I thought he really pushed somebody to get injured. And I think that's what you see with these kids out here, because they're all kids, flying like they're doing. At some point in time, somebody's going to land sideways on that mountain, you know, on that lift or something like that. They're going to break a neck, and then what? You know? That's another downer. This is the second one I brought down. I brought the last show down too, didn't I?
Yeah, well, no, we'll leave the people with something great. I have an idea. I have an idea, and I've thought about it for all retired, all NFL linemen. What they can do is get in the bobsledding competition. Because think about it. All right. You got power and push, right? You push it down the shalom. You got power, and then you got big brothers who jump in that thing. Man, that thing ain't going to tilt over. It's going to stay right there on that ice.
Dude.
It's going to be like,
dude, could you see Keith Trailer and them going down there? Man, Keith Trailer and Washington going down there. It'd be like 1,000 pounds coming down the mountain.
Just that's all you need is just
man be able to stop it.
Mountain. Just
it would
just fly off at the end. You wouldn't be able to stop it. They just keep going.
It start off slow, but as it builds momentum,
oh baby,
shooting out of there like a cannon.
That would be the best thing ever. Big man, snowman, it could be big snowman tobogganing.
Yeah, the Jamaicans out there, Cool Runnings, they're still out there. They got a bobsled team out there.
Yeah, they qualified too.
Yeah, they're not bad. They're actually pretty good. That's a crazy. Those people are doing like 75 or 80 miles an hour on a sled going down a hill.
Remember, you can always catch the Sizzle's Hot 5 and 5 right here on Iron Skillet Radio and Iron Skillet Television. Make sure that you subscribed and share this information with someone. Hit the button, the like button, to make sure that you are leaving those like comments. And hey, down below, tell us what you're thinking. Tell us some things you want us to look at, and make sure that you're looking for a brand new episode of The Sizzle, the hottest talk in the 219. Remember, I'm G Sizzle, and I will see you on the other side.
Make sure that you follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Iron Skillet Sports. And remember to like, share, and subscribe to Iron Skillet Sports on YouTube at Iron Skillet Sports.